Assalamu alaikum viewers. Viewers, in this video I'm going to tell you about the Google Cloud Technical Solutions. Viewers, before starting the video, I request to you to visit to our YouTube channel, that is Mahmoodi Onlines. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to be connected with us. Guys, let's start the video. Guys, we're going to discuss about the Google Technical Solutions. Guys, troubleshooting is both a science and an art. The first step is to make a hypothesis about why something is behaving in an unexpected way, and then prove whether or not the hypothesis is correct. But before you can formulate a hypothesis, you first need to clarify and identify the problem and express it with precision. If the issue is too large, then you need to brainstorm in order to narrow down the problem. This is where the artistic part of the process comes in. This is doubly challenging in the Google Cloud environment. Google Cloud works hard to help ensure customers' privacy. So your technical solution engineers, don't have written access to your system, nor do we have the same visibility into the system as you do. And we absolutely can't modify the system to quickly test if our hypothesis is correct or not. Some customers believe that they can send us a VM ID, trusting that we will fix it, like a car mechanic at a garage can fix. But in fact, a GCP support case is more like a conversation. Communicating with you is the main way we collect information, make hypotheses, and prove all the way to eventually solve the case. The case in question, this is the story of a support case with a happy ending. One of the reasons it was successful was that the case description was excellent, very detailed and precise. Here is a transcript of the first support ticket, anonymized to protect the customer's privacy. This message is incredibly useful because it contains a lot of detailed information. The specific VM with the issue DNS resolution not working, where the issue is visible, the VM and the container. Which troubleshooting step were already performed to narrow down the problem. The case was filed as P1 critical impact. Service unusable in the production. This means that the case will follow the sun by default. To provide 24/7 support, you can click the given link. So far, here is the following information we have collected. Our first step, first thing we do is check the logs and status of the metadata server to ensure it is working correctly or not. It is. The metadata server responds to the 169.254.169.254 IP address, and which is responsible for that. Among other things, for resolving the domain name, we also double check that the firewall rules applied to the VM are correct or not blocking the packet. This issue is valid until now. Our only hypothesis had been the UDP packets are being dropped, but the output of the map now proves that they are not. We mentally comes up with some more hypotheses and ways to verify them. They are the packets being selectively dropped. Check the impactability of the rule. Is the MTU too small? Is the problem UTB only, or does it also involve TCP? Are packets generally by dig not coming back? The current owner of the case asks for suggestion. So we decide to jump on a call with the customer to do some live troubleshooting. During the call, we test a few more things. We flush impactability rules without success. We check network interface and routing tables. We double check the MTU is correct. We find out that dig plus TCP google.com TCP works, but dig google.com UDP does not. We run TCP dump. While running dig, we must see that UDP packets are coming back or not. We run trace dig google.com and we see that dig correctly calls send message and receive message, but the latter times out. It's the end of our shift. So unfortunately, we have to let go of the cases to a different time zones. The case is already famous in our team and a colleague supports using the Python Scopy module to create a raw DNS packet. This snippet creates a DNS packet and sends a request to the metadata server. The customers run the code, the DNS reply comes back and the application receives it. This confirms that the problem can't be on the network layers. After another spin around the world, the case comes back to our team. I decide that it's better for the customer if the case stops spinning around the world. So I will keep the case from here on out. In the meantime, the customers kindly agree to provide a snapshot of the image. This is incredibly good news. Being able to test the image myself makes troubleshooting very quick. No need to ask the customers to run commands. Send them the output and analyze it. I can do everything live. My colleagues are getting jealous. We talk about the case at lunch and nobody has an idea of what is happening yet. Luckily, the customers isn't too much of a hurry because they have a mitigation. So we have more time to investigate. And because we have the image, we can do all the testings we want. This is just fun. Taking a step back, a very famous interview question to ask system engineers is, what happens when you run ping www.google.com? This is an excellent question because it requires an interview to describe the path from the shell to user land, to the kernel and on to the network. I smile sometimes. Interview questions are actually useful in real life. I decided to apply this question to my problems at the end. Roughly speaking, when you're trying to resolve a DNS name, this is what happens. The application calls some systems library, for instance, libnas. Check the system configuration to know which DNS servers to interrogate. Uses systems calls to create the UDP sockets to send and receive UDP packets containing the DNS request. The UDP stack can be configured at kernel level using the systematical interface. The kernel interacts with the hardware to send the packet on the networking using the network interface. When contacting the metadata server, the packets is actually captured by the hypothesis server, who send it to the metadata server. The metadata server does not magically to actually resolve the name and then sends back to reply in the view, but the metadata server does actually. To recap, we have considered the following hypothesis. Hypothesis number 1, the libraries are broken. Test 1, run trace in the impacted system. Check if dig is calling the correct system call or not. Result, correct call are invoked. Test 2, use Scapy to check if we can resolve names by passing OS system libraries. What is the result? Result is resolution where Scapy works. Test 3, run rpm-v on the libdominal package and md5 sum on the library files. What is the result? Result is library codes are exactly the same as one in a working operation system. Now test 4, mount the customer's image root file system on a VM where the behavior is not present. Run choroot, see if DNS resolution works. Hypothesis, the customer's network on the hyper supervision network interface is misbehaving. Now what is the result? Firewall configuration both in host and on GCP allows DNS the packet. Capture the traffic to check DNS requests are correctly sent and replied received. What is the result? Result is that it shows reply packets are received by the host or not. What is the conclusion? Now conclusion is that from test 1 to 2 the network is not the problem, but the hypothesis is the metadata server is not working properly. Guys, this was all about the Google Cloud Technical Solutions. Guys, if you like our video, hit the like button. Please visit our YouTube channel, that is Mahmoodi Onlines. Subscribe our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to be connected with us. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.